So you can see from the snow on the ground and the beautiful blue water that we are back up at Lake Tahoe. This is Lakeside Beach, and this is going to be Dreadful Talk Burrito review number 15, Los Portales, Jalisco. The place itself was pretty uninteresting, and this seemed like a much prettier and cooler place to do the burrito review. So we're doing Los Portales, Jalisco, but we're doing it here at Lakeside Beach in beautiful South Lake Tahoe, California. Get snow and beach at the same time. So I know the water clarity is super famous about Lake Tahoe. It's what it's famous for. And you can see it is not underrated. Absolutely crystal clear with a gorgeous mountain view. Gotta love it. What's up, everybody? Gorgeous out here, ain't it? Now, I just wanted to kind of emphasize location more lately in my burrito reviews. And I mean, not every place kind of fits that narrative, but I feel like I haven't been able to really capture the beauty of Lake Tahoe in these Tahoe burrito reviews. Like, you've seen a little snow on the ground, a few trees, but got a chance to show you how clear the water is, just kind of get up close and personal. This place wasn't too far up the street. We're like, man, because we did the burrito review on the beach last week in Santa Cruz, but it was a whole different type of beach, and I just kind of wanted to keep that theme going of showing off the beautiful nature and doing these beach burrito reviews. But how often do you have snow on the beach? It's a pretty cool dynamic here in Tahoe, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, this is Dreadful Talk Burrito review number 15, and we're doing Los Portales, Jalisco. And this place had pretty good ratings online. I've tried a few of the other places here in Tahoe, haven't been too impressed. This place seems pretty legit though, and let's see what they have to offer. For those new to the burrito reviews, I always do asada just to keep an apples to apples comparison, make it easy to compare one place to another. Sauce looks pretty nice, looks pretty authentic. These things are like the size of footballs, by the way, size of a small child, which I'm not complaining about, especially because they were cheap. We got both of these burritos for 15 bucks, which I think just anytime somebody from the Bay leaves the Bay, they think everything's cheap, but it comes with the territory. But let's see, I don't know if they're labeled or not. My wife got carnitas, so I always get the asada. They're not labeled. Oh, you know what? This one's fatter. I'm willing to bet that's the super burrito. That's another thing I do on these burrito reviews. I try to keep them burrito regular, so there's not a lot of sour cream and filler and extra things kind of murkying up the review. This place also just threw some homemade tortilla chips in the bag. I'm not mad at that. I'll crunch all in your ears real quick. I know you'll probably love that. All right. Now we got the foil. For those that are familiar with these burrito reviews, I can be a stickler about the foil, but they wrapped it kind of funky, so I don't know. They get points for the foil, but I don't know. They wrapped it like an amateur. All right, let's give this thing a couple bites. Let's see what it's like dry. Hit it. They have the green sauce and the red sauce. We'll try some of both. Soak in this beautiful day in Lake Tahoe. What is it? I kept this because I knew I was gonna forget the name. Los Portales, Jalisco. South Lake Tahoe, California, burrito review number 15. Let's get it. All right, first impression, just right off the bat, the asada is super tender, which is good. You know, not necessarily the char that I typically like, but it's one of those things where if it doesn't have the char, it better be hella tender. You can't have it just kind of medium, you know. Or you know what? I'm almost starting to wonder if this is the carnitas. I thought that might be a little tender for asada. This might be my wife's carnitas. Sorry, babe.
Is it good?
It is good. Maybe not though, I don't know. Because it was supposed to be the carnitas super burrito and the asada burrito regular. So that's why this one was smaller. I assumed it was the regular. Maybe they got it mixed up. Sometimes there can be a little bit of a language barrier. Let's see. This thing is so huge. Like seriously, this thing is the size of Holly, my multi-poop. Let's see if this is the steak. I don't know, it's hard to tell. So this is definitely the super burrito. I think that's carnitas. I think they just have super tender steak. So if you want to testament as to how tender the steak is, I mean, I had a hard time telling it apart from carnitas. I mean, that's pretty unique. Like usually the steak and the textures are very, very different. I know somebody's gonna call me out like, oh, you don't even know the difference, but I swear this is like some of the most tender asada I've ever had. It almost like is like a carnitas type texture. But let's try it with some sauce. Now that I didn't confuse myself and everybody watching. Green sauce is okay. Definitely nothing to write home about on that green sauce. Hoping the red sauce is better. The red sauce looks great. Like it looks like there's a lot of like seasoning and things like that in it. Yeah, I'm still not doing much for me on these sauces, so if this was a sauce review, it'd be a low score for sure. Yeah, it's so weird. I've never had asada that tender. Like I said, typically, you know, you want your asada with like a little bit of char on it, you know. Obviously not tough. Like tender's not a bad thing, but it just doesn't really have that classic asada texture you want from like a taqueria typically. Let's see what Holly thinks. What Holly over here? What do you think, Holly?
I
think she gives it a 10. Yeah, Holly's really generous. She's more generous than me. You know what, man? This is a pretty middle of the road burrito with some pretty below average sauce. I'm gonna give it like a 7-1. It doesn't deserve like the wrath of the 6s. Like if I give something in the 6s, that means it's trash. This isn't trash. It's just like nothing special, nothing to write home about. Like I said, the weird tender asada, I prefer a little more char on my asada. There's nothing about the rice or beans or anything really standing out. It is really big and really cheap, so they have that going for it. If you like bang for your buck, you know, you want a gigantic burrito for like $6 or $7. This place is pretty good. Like I said, really disappointed in the sauce. If they would have had a better sauce, they probably could have got their scores up into the mid-7s. But with the average burrito and the subpar sauce, I just got to go like a 7-1. I say super average, middle of the road, nothing to write home about. So I know we're not in the Bay, so the standard's kind of different. Definitely not the worst burrito I've got in Tahoe. I want to emphasize that. The other places scored in the 6s, and they were much worse. This place is pretty solid, but just for these standards, you know what I'm saying? Like compared to some, you know, San Jose and the Bay, this is really average. You know, maybe even a little bit below average. 7-1. I'm not trying to roast them too bad because, like I said, by Tahoe standards, it's not horrible, but 7-1. Really average. Like I said, the sauce is really disappointing more than anything. Your carnitas one, I think you're gonna like it a lot more. But like I said, the weird texture on the steak. I like some char on my asada. Maybe that's a personal preference. But Los Portales, Jalisco, 7-1. You know, probably won't be back. You know, nothing to write home about. But also not like super garbage or anything. Just super forgettable, average experience. But yeah, go ahead and show one last view. This is I think it's Lakeside Beach, gorgeous South Lake Tahoe, California. Appreciate you guys being a part of this burrito review. Subscribe, like, and share. Follow me on Instagram @Dreadful Talk Burrito. We do these every Friday, y'all. Thanks for being a part of it.